Good morning. Expressly from the garage where I slept overnight. Yay! Mission accomplished. I was challenged to stay out in the garage after being out in a tent last summer, car camping the summer before. So this was just one overnight. I know I have also done a winter car camping overnight, and so this was unique. It was 70 degrees yesterday, and it was completely gorgeous. And then it started getting colder. We're still early spring, winter. We did technically have our first day of spring, but there was a little bit of snow left on the ground yesterday afternoon, and so we're still reminiscent. We've still got the extreme temperature range happening, and last night was no exception. Unfortunately, we had the 75 degrees, completely gorgeous, all day outside in the sunshine with shorts on, and then I came into the garage, some productivity, but I lost a light. I only had a lamp, and it really wasn't that bright. I could have turned the overhead light on, but I kind of wanted to provide my own light as a source, and so it wasn't that great. I ended up wanting to kind of tuck into the bed covers early. Normally I've been staying up late because I do work, evening hours right now. And so I did not do that. It was like 10 o'clock, and I was like, no, I'm going to bed now. I'll be more productive if I have more light tomorrow. But it was so cold in the garage, it started getting cold again, and the floor was emanating. We still had that, and that's a thing you want to watch for with it, like exposure, is when the ground kind of zaps you, your core temperature. If you're completely surrounded on all sides with a cold temperature or with a hot temperature, it's going to affect your core temperature. And so I didn't want to sleep on the floor last night. I didn't give up. I wanted to give up. I wanted to go inside. I was like, but I didn't. I did end up sleeping in the bed of the truck because it wasn't emanating the cold like the floor was. It was like a damp cold. The bedclothes felt moist too, despite the fact that I had them in here and I had the tarp on the ground. They still felt that, cold. And so I slept in the back of the truck, and I was a little worried about it yesterday. I thought about sleeping in the truck bed, but then I decided against it because the ribs of the truck bed, I thought that was going to be really uncomfortable. But it wasn't an issue because I put the blankets down. I had two comforters underneath me, and so that was enough to kind of mitigate the lumps of underneathness. So that actually ended up fine. I slept pretty well. I did wake up a few times in the middle of the night, and I heard it raining, which was cool. Woke up this morning, and it was like a cold chill on the face, the exposed surfaces. And so it's perfect cuddling under the blanket weather. And I did not want to get up. It reminded me of the car camping, or not the car camping, but the winter car camping, and the some of the early days and of being out in the tent was everything is cold, everything is cold, everything is cold. And so it's so easy to get the wrong attitude when you've got that. So now I do have the heat on. That's how I was able to get myself out of bed this morning, out of the covers, was promise of breakfast, coffee, and a heat source. And so that's what I've got going now. I do want to, keep going with the challenge of being out in the garage. And so I'm probably going to have to walk away from the fire, and I don't want to. It is not, this garage isn't insulated, and so it's not really holding the heat exceptionally, despite the fact that it has been on for a little while now, which is why I didn't want to try the garage camping for a longer period of time, because it's not holding on to that heat. So the heat is literally like a foot in front of the fire, and that's it. You turn away and your nose is still cold. So it doesn't feel like it's doing that much. I know it is doing more than I can recognize, but it's still not ideal. So I'm gonna try and stick it out here a little while longer. The lighting is bad though. It's an overcast day. It's an overcast morning, and so just looking out the window. I did pull the blinds. I did open the garage door earlier before I turned the heater on, and I enjoyed having that amount of light. But it's a double-edged. Would I rather have the light, or would I rather try and keep some of this heat in, and potentially have to wave at the neighbors and say hello to the world out there, which is it was fine a little while yesterday. I enjoyed the companionable community vibes a little bit, and then I did say no, I want to close that garage door, and I do want to spend the time down in the backyard. So but we're gonna stick it out a little more while we're here, and see what we can get done in the chili this morning. Finish that coffee. I've got some leftover baked potato, and we will kind of keep going for a little while, see what we can do in this semi-lighting of cold. All right, have a great day, and I will do a wrap-up video, I'm sure, after we're done here. I am leaving this morning because I've sold something on Facebook Marketplace, and so I will run out and deliver that, and then we'll figure it out from there. But I will make a video later. Otherwise, have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.